The savage defenses, the explosive offenses, the capacity crowds, the violence and pageantry.
Fine halftime performance here at Kezar Stadium. Crowd in this sunny afternoon, 80-degree temperature, enjoying it. Tommy Davis kicking off. Dave Osborn waiting for the ball. He juggles it and keeps it. Good return of 22 yards before Jim Johnson bumped him out of bounds. Freddie Cox kicking off. Waiting for the ball, Gale Sayers, who going into today's game had averaged over 30 yards each time he took that ball on a kickoff. And here you can see why. The rookie from Kansas going upfield for 38 yards to the Vikings' 48-yard line before Osborn finally brought him down. 2nd and 4 in the 44. Dave Osborn going to the outside. And he gets 11 yards before Riley makes the stop. Roger LeClaire kicking off for the Chicago Bears. Dave Osborn waiting for the ball. The 25, the 30. Fine run by Osborn. Livingston making the stop.
Rookie Dave Osborn off on a 20-yard scoring sprint against the Rams as one of the able backup men for Mason and Brown.
Late in the 4th period, the Packers have exploded with good defensive football. Don Chandler kicking off now. They lead 24-13 over the Vikings. This is Osborn with the ball 4 yards deep. He's hit and dropped by Dan Grimm on the 16-yard line. Don Chandler kicking off again for the Green Bay Packers. In the blink of an eye, they can score defensively or offensively. Here's the kickoff. It's Osborn again with the ball. Osborn really hit and jammed up there to the 16-yard line again. It's Coffey, Junior Coffey, making this stop.
The Vikings now stop the Dallas. Alexander at the goal line. Back to the 26. Slips away. Gets the pass off to Osborn. Good for 14 yards.
Joe Kapp turned loose halfback Dave Osborn on 2 successive end sweeps to advance the ball to the Green Bay 5.
Osborn for 3 more yards. Or Detroit 15. Vikings ball at their own 20. This pass to Osborn is good for 4 yards. Osborn picks up 5 more. And Osborn is in for the touchdown. And Minnesota regains the lead, 17-12.
A heretofore dormant Viking attack is coming to life. Dave Osborn breaks into the open on a 73-yard run, which helps cut the lead to 27-14.
Dave Osborn hits headlong into the big red line where he's stacked up by half the Cardinal defense.
Vikings regain possession with less than 2 minutes and a half. Osborn sweeps to the left, catching the Falcons off guard. Watch number 30, Bill Brown, wipe out the left linebacker and spring Dave Osborn, the day's leading rusher, on the day's longest run from scrimmage, 56 yards. Relying exclusively on the hard running of Dave Osborn, number 41, the Vikings drove to the Cleveland goal. Osborn, a third-year man from North Dakota and one of the NFL's top ground gainers this season, smashed into the end zone to give Minnesota a 7-0 lead in the first quarter. Osborn ignited another Viking drive in the second period with a jarring 12-yard gain.
Despite his worried look, Viking coach Bud Grant was more than satisfied with his ground game, thanks to the unexpected success of number 41, Dave Osborn. With a vastly improved defense and an exciting runner like Osborn, the future looks bright for the new-look Vikings.
Dave Osborn finished as the NFL's second leading rusher, ahead of Gale Sayers and Johnny Rowland.
The Minnesota Vikings, the NFL's second expansion team. Yes, the Minnesota Vikings were going to replace the Green Bay Packers as champions of the Central Division.
The third quarter would be the key to this game, as it was in the Cleveland-Dallas game. The Colts' defense, like the Browns, would make the ultimate difference in the outcome. Come on.
Touchdown number 1 was lofted perfectly to Dave Osborn. Halfback Dave Osborn, number 41, also caught 6. Dave Osborn, number 41, accounted for nearly 50 yards, and his touchdown dive gave Minnesota a commanding 19-0 lead in the fourth quarter. 41, Dave Osborn had a 106-yard day. In the last 2 minutes, the frustrated Bears blitzed right by Osborn, and he romped 58 yards to agonize the Bears 31-0. Minnesota stayed on the top, and Chicago stayed on the bottom of the Central Division. And they had not only allowed the fewest points in all of pro football, but they had also scored the most. Cap opened with a brutal ground attack against the vaunted Ram defense, and Dave Osborn gave the Vikings 7 points of early leverage. But for the remaining 3 minutes, the Vikings did precisely what they had been doing for much of the game. They controlled the ball and the Rams for a 2013 victory and a bit of early momentum for the Western Division playoff game.
December 27th, Metropolitan Stadium. The Vikings versus the Rams in the Western Conference Championship game.
All right, let's go. Come on, get it.
Now inside the 5, Dave Osborn dove over to tie the game. It was an impressive start for both teams. Then on a big play, Dave Osborn twisted and turned for the first down to keep the must drive going.
For the Vikings and their fire-breathing quarterback, there was to be one more magic day against Cleveland in the NFL championship game.
Referee Tom Bell indicating the Minnesota Vikings have won the toss and have elected to receive. The temperature, we will repeat, is 9 above zero. The wind is out of the northwest at 12 miles per hour. Osborn, about the 39-yard line, pinned down by the two Cleveland tackles, Kinnicky and Johnson. 3rd and 2. Osborn, first down at the 30.
Second effort, Osborn. That's the way it is. Bounce and keep going. He's done it all season.
Number 41, Dave Osborn, a fifth-year running back from North Dakota. He's a 6-footer and 205. And that short run gave the Vikings a 1st and 10 at the Cleveland 30 with a minute and a couple of seconds left to play in the first quarter. Osborn. He's inside the 10.
You know, that's the way Osborn has run the entire season. He's always got that second effort. Watch him now. He looks like he's stopped. There's a little crossbuck move there. He's hit. Bang. Rolls. Keeps going. Watch how much more yardage he picks up after he was apparently stopped. There's some real effort.
Osborn. Midfield. He's inside the 45-yard line for a first down, and Kellerman and Howell of the secondary had to stop him.
One more time, you see Mr. Osborn apparently stopped for no gain, sometimes even a loss. Just bounces and keeps rolling.
3rd and 2. Osborn. He has a first down at the 30-yard line. Kellerman made the tackle. And Kent Kramer immediately leaves, and wide receiver John Henderson comes back. Number 41, and so far the running star of the game, Dave Osborn. The first down comes at the Cleveland 20-yard line, and there's Bud Grant talking with his men upstairs on the phones. Washington goes to the right, and Henderson comes out to the left side. Osborn. Touchdown.
Take a look at Osborn now. This young man simply will not be denied. You will see he's hit pretty well here. He tried to come in high on him, and you just can't do it that way. Slipped off, he kept going, cut back behind the one blocker he had ahead of him into the end zone, as you see.
Osborn has carried 8 times for 60 yards. Fred Cox puts another point on the board, and now the Vikings lead 24-0 and will...
Then Cap returned to the ground, and Dave Osborn, number 41, was turned loose on the first of what were to be many important runs for the veteran from North Dakota. On a replay, watch Osborn's determination and second effort that enabled him to get extra yards on the play. Osborn's trademark is second effort, and he was showing it today. Dave Osborn had been running extremely well inside the tackle so far, twisting and turning to get extra yards, and he got 6 more on second down. But the man who carried most of the burden was Dave Osborn. Osborn is a slashing type runner who has the speed to turn the corner. On the last play, watch Ozzie break an attempted tackle by number 50, John Garlington, then cut around left end 16 yards into Brown's territory. The Browns line was now keying on Osborn. Watch what happens to number 41 on this next play, even though he didn't have the ball. A runner's lot is not always a happy one. Then, as if the Norse gods had ordained it, Dave Osborn shot off left tackle past a flying defender and went 20 yards to a touchdown. On a replay, watch Osborn evade the leap of defender Mike Howell, number 34, then carry linebacker Garlington into the end zone. Osborn now had over 60 yards rushing in the half. Now let's see the blocks that initially set Osborn loose to the biggest play of the game so far. Watch the blocking of setback Reed, number 64 Milt Sunday, and number 80 John Henderson, as Osborn then evades tacklers himself and drags Garlington into the end zone. This touchdown, which gave the Vikings a 24-0 lead, had virtually ended the NFL championship with 4 minutes to go in the half. Once again, Joe Kapp, the front four, Dave Osborn, and 34 other Vikings had stunned and staggered their enemy with an aggressive, explosive style of football. And the Purple Gang from Minnesota could all but hear the trumpets blaring on Bourbon Street. After such an enjoyable first half, Joe Kapp appeared eager to get going again. His meal ticket was again Dave Osborn, who today gave an outstanding demonstration of the virtues of second effort. He continually bounced off defenders for large gains after apparently being stopped at the line. He totaled over 100 yards rushing. Kapp's maneuvers put the Vikings at the Cleveland goal as time ran out. A lineman's frustration said it all for the Browns. But it was the finest day of all for Minnesota and the Vikings. They entered the NFL in 1961 and struggled for years. After one winning season in 6, Bud Grant and Joe Kapp were brought in, and the club became a winner. The Vikings are the first expansion team to win an NFL title.
Oh, look out!
we stuck with it. Towards the end of the game, we went to our running game. We wanted to run the clock out. We stayed with it.
Have a little juice.
No, I don't think.
Yeah.
Get the camera right here.
Soda pop. Hard running. I'm gonna throw it all over you.
Don't throw it on me. Let me talk to this man first. Any more questions?
There is no most valuable Viking. There are only 40 most valuable Vikings. 40 for 60, put it that way. I just can't accept this. Thank you.
Dave Osborn, number 41, is also an excellent receiver. But what he is best known for is his vast repertoire of second effort moves.
Quarterback Gary Quazzo had been at the Super Bowl, and he remembered. His entire team remembered. Thus, for Minnesota, 1970's first game was really 69's last, a chance to put a bitter memory to rest. Kansas City Chiefs were crushed 27-10. The Vikings had gained their revenge, and now they were ready for the last of their first 10 years. And when the Viking quarterback had taken his team the length of the field, not even the Chiefs' massive defense could stop number 41, Dave Osborn, from putting the finishing touches on what for the Chiefs was a painful operation.
Are the running backs. The Baby Bulls for Minnesota. Osborn. Left side. Beautiful hole. And Myron Pontios gets the job done at the 45-yard line. Slipping through the middle comes number 41, Dave Osborn, and I think he picked up a first down. he took it all the way to the Los Angeles 48-yard line. Osborn. He's having a good night. Dave Osborn bouncy. Osborn. He's busy. He's got a Minnesota first down at the Los Angeles 32-yard line. Deacon Jones brought him down. Osborn. He's about as slick as the football. He's down to about the 23, maybe close to the first down. Richie Pettibone gets the tackle for the Rams. The clock running, the crowd roaring, 5 seconds. The Vikings starting to leave the field, as you see. And the ball game is over. The final score, the Minnesota Vikings 13, Los Angeles Rams 3.
Then Osborn went around right end for his first good gain of the day. From here, Quazzo decided to probe the line flanks, and Dave Osborn, number 41, made his first good gain of the day. The Viking machine had done it again.
And although the results were the same, the means were different. The Vikings relied on the rushes of Dave Osborn.
Dave Osborn, who touched off the Vikings scoring in their first game, also notched the last touchdown as Minnesota won 37-7 to finish the season with 12 wins, 2 losses. Number 41, Dave Osborn, sometimes cradles the ball like a boy with a new puppy, but he has the savvy of a pool hustler. Don't let him fool you. He's not the fanciest and not the fastest. All he'll do is beat you. Dave Osborn doesn't like to be stopped.
Early in the second period, behind the passing of Fran Tarkenton, the Nationals began a drive, sparked by number 41, Dave Osborn, and number 81, Jackie Smith.
John Brody took a deep 10-yard drop and fired a touchdown to Dave Osborn.
To give something extra. Fortunately for Snead, he had Dave Osborn, number 41, to help him with blocking, receiving, and running. In all, Osborn accounted for 158 yards, or about half of Minnesota's total offensive output for the day. Spun about like dry leaves in an autumn wind, Viking setbacks were hit often, hard, and sometimes a bit late. In Philadelphia, the Vikings continued their attention to the 100 tiny details that win football games.
Second down and 10. The ball resting the 19-yard line. The 24-yard line, rather. This is Osborn. Wind up, blocked by Ed White. Moving up quickly is Mike Curtis from his middle linebacking position, and there will be a loss in the play. Coming out to the right of the motion is Grimm. Osborn into the end zone. Dave Osborn for the touchdown. Vikings moving 27
yards in, but 2 plays. The big one, of course, that pass by Gary Quazzo to Stu Boyce to the 2-yard line. There he is, Dave Osborn.
A straight off tackle shot and gave the ball to Osborn. Osborn has been a clutch man for him all year. He goes after that goal line. Rick Bolt came up to try to put a stop on him and actually just slid by him.
And with timeout, the score is the Minnesota Vikings 7, the Baltimore Colts nothing. Osborn getting just over the 20-yard line. Pickup of about 7.
I said 12 players because Bailey and Newsom split the defensive tackle assignment. Bailey from Kansas, Newsom from Grambling.
Serious situation. He knows that Logan, by going into the short zone of that side, does cover that short area.
The draw play to Osborn. Osborn moving close to the first down. He has it. Raymond moving over to make the stop. But the Vikings coming to life here in the 3rd period, leading the Baltimore Colts 7-0. No scoring at all in the 2nd period.
One thing is sure, if they have to set... All right, let's look at that again. You see Osborn on that draw play getting the first down.
It'll get your attention.
3rd down now and 20. Osborn running inside. The Vikings obviously being careful, looking for the field goal. Getting field position. Osborn inside the 25 to about the 24, and out comes Fred Cox. Graham right, Washington left. Careful football as Osborn gets the call, a pickup of 5. Quazzo calling a very heady game with a 10-0 lead. Mike Curtis moving over to make that tackle.
Marinero. And Osborn gets the handoff. He's into the middle of the line and fights his way down inside the 40, close to first down territory. Stadium, the cheerleaders snowballed each other silly in preparation for the avalanche that was to come. All these thefts, of course, kept Take It In Talkington rather busy. Fran set up one score with a pitch to Dave Osborn. And he collected his 2nd touchdown pass of the day with a 13-yard strike to Dave Osborn, who took it in standing up Viking style, making it 34-10 in the end. Then Dave Osborn burst through a trap at right guard for 14 yards and a touchdown. A replay shows us that right guard Milt Sunday caught number 53 middle linebacker Mike Lucci in a blitz. And number 62 left guard Eddie White closed the trap on number 70 Larry Woods, and Osborn was home free. And Viking fans could barely contain themselves.
And then the clock rolled back to the 60s as Fran Tarkenton handed off to Dave Osborn 14 times for 79 yards.
But the play that kept the drive alive was this pure Tarkenton jump pass to Dave Osborn, bringing the ball to the St. Louis 33. When you start seeing those ever popular pictures of the Minnesota weed burners, you know that it's Viking weather in Bloomington, which means that it's about time to start the playoffs. You could hardly blame the Vikings if their minds were elsewhere last Saturday, but some old pros just don't know how to take it easy, like Dave Osborn, number 41. Dave Osborn, the 31-year-old running back, now in his 10th year out of North Dakota, has had a surprisingly effective year with well over 700 yards in total offense. And last week against Atlanta, he added 132 more, along with 2 touchdowns.
And so once again, the ball was inches from the goal line. But where the Rams had failed to punch it in, the Vikings would not. As the more experienced Fran Tarkenton finished off the drive with a Dave Osborn dive, and Minnesota led 14-3 with 12 minutes to go.
Parkinson, Foreman, and some other first-stringers can get plenty of rest, while old familiar-sounding names like Bob Lee and Dave Osborn get their names in the scoring column. The Vikings are 8-0, and now's as good a time as any to start preparing for the playoffs.